Hey guys, know it's been a long day, we're going to be talking about real estate and mortgage tech. I'm not going to try to pander to you guys on cryptocurrencies, on blockchain. Really want to talk about how to make buying a house and getting a mortgage simpler for you guys with a company that launched only in November and has already reached $1 million ARR. So if you guys are looking to invest in us in our seed round, we are looking for investors and would love to talk to you guys afterwards. No need to take photos. If you guys would like a copy of the deck, just give me a card afterwards. So buying a house, getting a mortgage, obviously a very time-consuming, painful process for 99% of the US that don't use your exclusive banks or use cash to go through and to buy their properties. The reason being is that there's a lot of different parties involved in the process. And they're all on different systems, trying to get all the documentation and information needed in order to go through and to process your transaction. So they spend their entire day, where is this, where is that, I need this updated, when has this been ordered? And that's time consuming, frustrating for all the parties involved, including the consumer, and ends up with a lot of money being spent to try and take the process down to as little time as possible and as little frustration as possible. So what we've done is we decided to be the centralized portal for all of the communication, all of the documentation, so that we can go through and we can capture that data, make sure it automatically gets to the intended parties without them having to ask for it, and then at the same time we analyze it before we send it off to see if more or less data is needed. For those of you that bought a house, I'm sure you've had to provide tons of letters of explanation, tons of additional documentation. We make sure we get that up front the first time so that you don't have to do a lot of back and forth with underwriting and have all that frustration. Now, the way that we do that is through integrations as well as algorithms and automation that we built in the system. So what we're doing is we're going through for the consumer and we're giving you a RealKey ID. Now, what's great is that this is not only going to be applicable to housing, we plan to actually apply this to student loans, auto loans, financial planning, wealth management. We are focusing on mortgage first. Now, the reason we're focusing on mortgage is the most complex process and transaction that you can do in finance. There's so much information and data that we capture. What's great is that we'll pull your credit one time. It's accepted by every bank and brokerage in the US. You can go through and you can log in to any of the systems that you use for your finances, whether it be for your payroll, whether it be for verifications of employment, tax returns, assets. We analyze that. We can actually change currencies from overseas and actually translate it into US dollars, allowing for more people to actually get transactions as well. Now, we connect with the systems that all the lenders use, the loan origination systems, the real estate agents, their MLSs, their contract forms, their calendars, Google calendars, Outlook calendars, to help them schedule appraisals and inspections, automating as much of the process as possible, as well as with the other parties, title, escrow companies, insurance. For them, we're lead gen. For title escrow, we have the real estate agents and the loan officers on our system. And we can go through and connect them directly. And for the insurance companies, we have the consumers. We can go through and automate a lot of what they do today, including going through and doing a lot of the currently manual tasks and automating that so that they can focus on what's most important, which is getting more business and providing better customer service. There is a network effect to this where we do have actually real estate agents referring us loan officers referring us real estate agents, and so on. There is a huge network effect to this that's allowed us to grow so quickly, and we have some new products that are on the way, which is part of the reason that we're raising capital, is to go through and to not only service more enterprise clients, but also to go through and increase this snowball and network effect. There's tons of benefits here, mainly for the paying client, which is loan officers. Those are who pay us. It's free to consumers, free to real estate agents. They can close more transactions faster, with less effort, less confusion, less frustration, give better customer satisfaction, and get repeat business. Now you're probably wondering, who am I? Why am I up here talking? Who's this kid? I was the top mortgage originator in the US for 2 straight years in 2010 and 11. I just look young for my age. I also am on my 3rd startup. My last one, Syndio, was an online mortgage brokerage in San Francisco. We raised $50 million and exited via acquisition from RenRen, which is essentially the Facebook of China. My CTO and co-founder was the CTO and general manager of Intuit's innovation division. So pandering to your blockchain side, he actually built blockchain for them and for Capital One. Security is very important to us. He was also LendUp's director of engineering. My designer, who actually joined us about 5 months ago this year, we've been very fortunate, was the design lead for TurboTax before they actually got acquired by Intuit. and became Intuit's top strategic lead designer. And then, of course, marketing is very important. Hayden Kirkpatrick, who you heard from yesterday, who is currently the head of marketing strategy innovation from eSurance, will be joining us full time in the next month or so, and has been working with us for the last 2 years straight. What is our model? We charge $99 per month. So what I want you guys to think about is Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage. That's made them very popular and has been a huge differentiator for them, helped them to close a lot of transactions very quickly and made a lot of real estate agents that refer them business very happy. Imagine if we could give that to any bank or brokerage in the US for 99 bucks a month. We charge it per seat, per loan officer. Again, we launched in November. We already have almost $1 million in ARR. Now, I want you guys to also pay attention to the bottom here. We're only charging $99 a month right now, and the people that we've signed up are already signed up for $35 a transaction, half of what we plan to charge. By just adding the features to allow us to charge that, we will instantaneously double our ARR overnight. So your investment will help us to get there. Additionally, we do plan to hit 2,000 users with our snowball effect and network effect, which is powered by the fact that we actually got into the National Association of Realtors Reach Accelerator. There's 1,200 companies that apply. We were one of the 8 that got in, and we actually have received investment from them up front in the form of $100,000. So they are benefiting from our eventual exit and are making strategic introductions to heads of Keller Williams, RE/MAX, some of the largest franchise brokerages out in the US, helping us to go through and get on more real estate agents' websites to get more loan officers on our platform. We are also working towards LendingTree and Credit Sesame to go through and to be so that when you find a lender and you click on it, you don't go straight into the lender's website, you go through RealKey. You can just provide an email and password, allows you to apply for any bank or brokerage in the US with just a click of a button. Looking at the competition, pretty much all of the guys out there that you see on the left, what's great is that by getting into NAR's Reach Accelerator, we've kind of pissed on the ground and said the real estate agents are our territory. You will not see any of them at a real estate event. What's great is that the buyer's agents are the most influential in the home buying process. So they can actually tell a lot of loan officers what products to use and are also going through and integrating us into their websites. Looking at the competition, they're all consumer portals. What that means is that you click apply now as a consumer, you get dropped into a website, you might be able to automatically grab your bank statements through an integration with Yodlee or Plaid. It's not very helpful. What do you do with that data? That's where we come in, is our algorithms and our automated tasks that we've gotten there actually analyze the information data that we grab and see again if more or less is needed to avoid back and forth. So we can go through and we can do any possible financial situation you may have, no matter who you are, and make sure that you have a smooth process. Also very important, a lender interface so that you don't end up in the old-fashioned systems, emails, loan origination systems. And then we take it all the way through the entire home buying process, and we actually are the only company with true defensible IP and tech in the form of something that we call LiveSync. LiveSync allows me to send you an email. You can actually see as I type as a loan officer and you're the consumer, and I can actually change your page. So it's very different from Google Docs where you can only see as someone types or where they're at. You can take it from there. So very cool, love to show you guys that. What we're looking at as far as exits is a merger acquisition. Right now, we're already getting contacted by Quicken Loans and Unbank.Ventures. Dan Gilbert, the owner of Quicken Loans, very interested in our product since we are essentially a rocket mortgage killer. As we continue to grow the product, News Corp, who bought out Move and Realtor.com, Zillow, as well as Intuit, DocuSign, Amazon's getting into mortgage. So again, there's plenty of players in the space that would love to go through and to have our product and be able to have a way to connect with their consumers and complete transactions faster. I'm not going to get into this slide. This is some of the milestones that we're going to be completing, some of the additional fundraising that we're going to be doing. We've already raised $1.5 million. The last check was NAR. That's why we just added $500K to the round. We'll take up to $1 million. This is currently at a $7 million cap, safe notes with pro rata rights. So I'd love to go through and chat with you again if you're interested in investing. I appreciate it. Thank you for the time. I'm going to leave this up. This is just some of the awards that we've won recently, as well as a more in-depth version of the competitive landscape showing time to launch, how quickly we've been moving, how much money's been raised with the team that we've got, and why we've been doing so well. Thank you.